Evening, everybody. How are we? Welcome along. It's Friday evening. I know there's international football on the TV, but that's not really international football. It's on England. Obviously, the real international football took place yesterday. Wednesday, with Scotland getting a win in the truly fantastic Nations League, which we all approve of wholeheartedly. Tonight, however, while all the things going on the TV, we've had a slight bit of drama on Wednesday night. If you were at the stream on Wednesday, you would have known that there was dissension in the ranks. Dissension in the ranks at Bolton. We had a bit of a blip in form. We thought we'd fixed it. We thought everything was going to be fine. And then there was whispers of players revolting. And then, to be fair, some strange things happened. Things changed. Things changed a lot, didn't they? Remember this? Remember when we moved to Norwich instead? We left Bolton, didn't we? We left Bolton because it was just a really weird thing. So here we were. This was what the form was looking like. Okay, so we rejoined the stream at Chesterfield, and granted, we went on a bit of a bad run here. That's not looking pretty. That's 6 games without a win. 2 games we won on that stream up to that point. We were both in the Carabao Cup, which ironically took us into the quarterfinals of the Carabao Cup. Okay, and then we drew with Huddersfield, beat Coventry, lost to Watford, who was second at the time, and then we beat Ipswich, which was great because it was like, okay, we're back on the rise now. We've sort of fixed the issue, but in that moment, and while all that was going on, where is he? This guy. Right here, MJ Williams, he calls a team meeting. He goes, oh, there's been an issue, Gaffer. All the players are kicking off. They reckon that, things aren't great and like they're not behind you. And I was like, what do you mean? And it turns out that after chatting with all you guys, it turned out that MJ was the ringleader, according to you lot. So we were like, right, well, we have to try and, sort of assert dominance here and sort of show them who's boss. So we showed them who's boss by leaving and going to join a team who were bottom of the league. So that's what we did. So there's Norwich there. They were bottom when we took over. Yeah, see, this is them down there, then bottom. Then we actually had our match where we took over and we actually gave them a win. We beat Reading, so well happy with that. So we are out of the relegation zone now. Okay, obviously the only way is up. That's what we're on about. The only way is up. And this is what we've currently got. So the squad is pretty good, to be honest. We were quite surprised about the squad being pretty good. This is the reason we actually moved over, first of all, as well, from Bolton, because we thought, you know what, we could probably make Bolton work. It'll be a grind, but we can make Bolton work. But then look at this. Youth facilities here, superb. Training facilities, excellent. Reputation's national. Finances are okay. Estimated value is 102 million. I think Bolton was like 30 million or something. Media prediction, 8th. Bolton, 20th. Norwich have a higher ceiling than Bolton. I think we can all agree with that. Yeah. And when we looked at the playing staff, they've got a goalkeeper who was valued at £20 million before we turned up. He's now valued at £9 million, but he's still pretty exceptional, to be honest. There's Victor Johansson is here as well. He's valued at nearly £5 million, so he's in there. Paddy McNair, remember him? He's in there. Ian Shithole is in. Zimbabwean central defender. Look at this, pretty decent jumping reach. 18, 6'3", 16 for positioning. He could be a right unit, to be honest, in defence. They've got Mason Holgate. They've got Harrison Reed, who's former Peterborough player. They've got Jed Spence is in the squad here. He's valued nearly just over £7 million. We've got Shandon Baptiste, who's in the middle of the park, valued at nearly £9 million. Abdullah Bar, £9 million, 25-year-old French midfielder. Look at this, agility, balance, dribbling, first touch, long shots of 15, vision 15, work rate 15. I mean, these are good players. We've got Rashida is still at the club. Rashika's still there. They've got Joe Linton, who is still there. He wants to leave, but he's still there. We've turned down a bid from Flamengo because it was like derisory, but he's still at the club. They've got Carlos Borges, who's he's going to score goals for us. I don't care what it says here. Finishing of 8, dribbling of 15, first touch of 14, acceleration of 16, pace of 17. He is going to get us some things. Juan He-Chan, unfortunately, is leaving, but you know, that's one of those things. He's on his way out, but we still have a striker there. Up front, there's still Adam Ida is still at the club. He's only 27 at this point as well. So then, of course, you've got players like Lou Dalton, who's a young player who comes through the system. Valued at £20 million. He's wanted by Newcastle and Wolves. Like, realistically, we've got players that if we wanted to sell and raise money, we could do that. Like, the wage budget is twice as much as what we had at Bolton. And because of the fact that they were being whinging pricks, we figured, right, let's leave them. Let's go. Right, so that's what we did. So we upped and left. And to be fair, the Norwich form wasn't great before we turned up. But you know, they'd beaten Birmingham just before we arrived, so we put 2 friendlies in again, and then we beat Reading on our first match. Sean as God, we did, mate. You've literally just missed the explanation as to what's gone. Skullduggery at Bolton. We weren't planning on leaving, but there was player dissent, so we figured we'd show them who's boss by upping sticks and going. So we're now going to play Swansea, who are second bottom, Crystal Palace who are 8th, Birmingham who are 3rd bottom, Coventry at 10th, Bolton at Carrow Road as well. So they're going to come to our place. We're going to show them exactly who's boss. So looking forward to that, to be honest, to see how we get on. But yeah, this is where we are. So up the Canaries is what's happening right now. So if you weren't here on Wednesday, then that's you up to speed. In addition, if people weren't here on previous streams, what I've started to do, okay, as we're looking to move forward to FM 23, is, right, I'm starting to put together a second channel, which is going to be basically all of these VODs up on another YouTube channel, so that you can actually come back and watch them again, because Twitch only lets you have the VODs on for 7 days, I believe, 14 days possibly. So I need to think that if we're going to get some people coming in who are new to the stream, who maybe want to sort of check things out and don't know when stuff happens, or they want to try and get caught up on the story, because let's face it, we might well be having people having to try and get caught up here. Then this is the new channel. There's a new YouTube channel there, so go and have a little follow on that. Cass has mentioned, are we ignoring that Tony claimed a win at Bolton after? Well, I don't know. Did I claim that victory at Bolton? I don't think I probably have. They have moved up though. They did win. They've won to spite me, I think. Yeah, they beat Ipswich as well. So sorry, yeah, that's point. Yeah. I tried to claim that victory, didn't I? Sorry about that. Didn't do it at all. Forgive me, Cass. You can pull me up on that one. That's absolutely right. Is my those fixtures? That's not right, is it? Let's go to import view, because that's not fixture view. There we go. That's better. Matt Wilco got relegated with Spurs. Really, I need to stop playing this game. well, this is the thing, Wilco. We are we're in the end of the cycle, aren't we? So everything that's happening now is sort of the last few rolls of the dice, to be honest. So we're that's where we are now. So the save's going to be probably wrapping up in a couple of weeks, obviously with the announcement of the new game coming out in November. So I'd imagine the beta is somewhere in the mid to late of October. All next week is a busy week, so we've got FM playoffs next week. I've got Road to Legends potentially next week if I'm back from away day work in time. So yeah, I think streaming next week is going to be very, very limited. So overall time at Bolton, at Bolton again, this is going to take a couple of games to get used to, isn't it? Overall time at Norwich is going to take a bit of time to get used to. So we will get it. We'll get as much done as we possibly can. So let's put Rashika in. Let's put Chan up front. Let's put Borges on the bench. In place of Harrison Reed, possibly. Actually, no, it's a place of Riches. Baptiste can go in there, even though we should really have Joe Linton in there. I think that's probably as good as we can get. Plus, we've got this guy, Alan Staunton, wonder kid. So yeah, exciting player. So hopefully we can do something. We are a custom wing play at the minute. I probably will change that, to be honest, and get it back towards a vertical tick attacker or something. But at this moment in time, it's all about just getting stuff down, solidify ourselves, 4-4-2, and then start building again from there. So we are balanced. We probably should go positive actually against Swansea. We want to try and play off the front foot a little bit, keep them in the relegation zone, push ourselves a little bit out there and get a bit of daylight in between ourselves. K Bullen, appreciate the follow. That's very kind. Thank you for that. Welcome in the stream. We're punched away. Baptiste brings it down. McNair, Rashika, Jed Spence puts it in. It's got the back post. It's in. It's Alan Stanton. It's 1-0. It's 12 minutes played. And we've taken the lead. Norwich City 1-0 up against Swansea. Great finish. Good ball by Jed Spence. Misses everyone. That's a hell of a strike, isn't it? That's a great strike at the back post. Alan Stanton smacks it in. That should move us up a couple of positions. In fact, not everyone else is winning. Barnsley are drawing with Sheffield Wednesday. Reading are drawing with Bolton. Ooh. But yes, that is the problem, of course. The Bolton situation. It was quite a difficult decision to move, to be honest, because I thought we could have turned it around at Bolton. I thought we were on the right path. I thought, right, fine, we've overcome our blip. We were expected to battle bravely against relegation, so getting high up in the division wasn't what we expected to do anyway. So it was just one of those things where we had to sort of ride the wave a little bit. But yeah, the second all that nonsense started coming out, I was just like, nah, we're not having it. Jebaroo, here we go. Welcome in 19 months. 19 months worth of support from Jebaroo. Can't really put that into numbers. Well, I can't. It's literally numbers. Yeah, Liz Truss's Yellow and Green Army, apparently, which, again, talk about drama. I wasn't really expecting to have bloody Liz Truss being the patron saint of Norwich after taking over, but there you go. That's what's happened. Bravely retreated from Bolton. We didn't bravely retreat. We took our ball and we left. We showed them who it was. Tory Jameson's back again. Yeah, I'm not going to live that name down, am I? I have a feeling this is what's going to be me from now on. Oh, apparently we can't shout Jebaroo out. Apparently he's not real. Unless Jebaroo's overwritten his own instructions. Well cleared off the line there by Baptiste. Obviously not a Tory. Well, potentially not. Germany's still losing. That's all right. They'll still end up pretty close to winning the World Cup, I'd imagine. Quasi said I can't have shout-outs. Yeah, you don't earn enough, mate. You don't earn enough for shout-outs. So they are something you have. The shout-outs have to be earned. Not like peerages. Obviously, they just get given out. So we're potentially going to start the stream with a win. Yes, we are. Look at that. Beautiful. 1-0. 1-0 win against Swansea. That moves us up. Bolton are moving up as well, though. They're 4-2 win over Reading. 2 goals from Johnny Kenny. I wonder if we could make enough money in the January transfer window to convince Johnny Kenny to come and play for Norwich. That would be good, wouldn't it? Swansea versus Norwich is an awful wage. Oh yeah, God, could you imagine? What, like 8 hours or something, wouldn't it? This is the thing, like I went for the interview at Norwich and I was like, you're going to have to give me the job because I'm not driving back. At all, like we've turned up here. Danny Rose is now the under 23s coach. But it's not the Danny Rose though. It's the other Danny Rose. Sadly. the interest. Salzburg is the one that's piquing your interest. That's fine. They're still not good enough offers. I'm not sure that this wing play style against Palace is what we need to be doing, but let's stick with it. Let's stick with it for now, and we'll see what happens. Because like I say, this is sort of essentially trialing players out until Christmas to work out who still fits. We probably, based on my initial assessments, we probably need a centre back and a centre forward if we can get one. Borgas wants a new contract. He can have a new contract. Presumably $7,000 a week. Is that all he's on? How much extra do you want? What sort of figures are you thinking about Carlos? You're going to want to double your money at least, aren't you, I reckon? What's he saying? Oof. I mean, look. I'll tell you what, have a double, see how that goes. We've got more money. We've got more money than we had at Bolton. So like $15,000. Yeah, you can have $15,000. That's fine. Even if you're not a first team, you can have $15,000. That would have been first team wages at Bolton. In fact, I'm on double my wages than I was at Bolton. So very, very happy with that. Let's defend a bit more narrow. That's what they're reckoning. So Adam Ida is going to have to be rested. We'll go with Joe Linton up front. Abdullah Bar is back, which is good. Because Paddy McNair's tiring, so we'll swap him in with Baptiste. What's the journey so far? Not much since the Brackley days. Bungle bongo, you have missed a few things then, to be honest. So Brackley for 4 seasons. We finished 3 points outside the playoffs, 3 points outside the playoffs. Many positions outside the playoffs, 3 points in the semi-finals, the playoffs, and lost. We then took charge of York City. We won the playoff final in the National League North. We then won the playoff final in the National League, got into the Football League, into League 2, stabilised the club, looked pretty handy. We were there for 12 games. And then we moved to Bolton in the Championship, and we thought Bolton was going to be fine. We kept them in the division. We started season 8, and we were thinking this is going to be all right. Started really well, hit a bit of a purple patch, hit a bit of a rough patch, rebalanced it all back out, but then there was a bit of squad dissension and skullduggery. So we left. We literally just left and moved to Norwich at the end of the last stream. So they were bottom when we took over. As you can see, Bolton's still above us. So we have started to move ourselves off the bottom of the table. But yeah, so you pretty much caught up now, to be honest. 8 seasons in, and I think probably we'll do 10 seasons, and then that'll probably be enough for us before FM23 comes out, I think. So a bit of a short journey, man, this one, I think. If we get to the Premier League in 2 seasons, we'll be happy. But given the fact that they were bottom when we took over, I'm not 100% sure that'll happen. Oh. Right, I think Jed Spence might have to maybe go as a fullback rather than as a complete wingback. Don't need him bombing up just that much at this point. Baptiste, great ball over the top. Chan, Stanton pulls it back. Chan, Stanton, Big Joe Linton. Gotta do better. That was his opportunity, wasn't it? So yeah, we're 7 points behind Bolton as it stands. Obviously, as I say, there's a lot of football still to play. But Bolton do have that Carabao Cup quarter final to look forward to, so we got them there. Yeah, we got them there. There's Joe Linton from distance. Oh, what's the plan for the next FM? Personally, I think you should do a Chester save. Chester, interesting. The plan for FM23. We have a plan. We do have a plan. And we sort of spoke about it briefly on the last stream. So again, we can fill you in properly. So the plan with the beta plan is going to be Arsenal. We're going to do Arsenal save for a couple of seasons with the beta, because that should be fairly interesting. I think they're well set up. I think they've got really good players, good squad. It should theoretically allow us a bit of time to learn the tactics and learn how the game works with the new features. Inevitably, it'll end up in us being sacked by Arsenal before the new game comes out, so that's fine. That's a bit of content there. And then Jed Spence pulls it back. Chan makes it 1-0. It's 1-0 to the Canaries. This is okay. We're moving. We're moving. So yeah. So we're gonna do Arsenal for the beta. So probably a season, maybe 2 seasons, depending on how much we play it. If there's like 2 weeks, maybe 3 weeks, possibly for the beta, I'd imagine that's only 2 seasons, really, max. It might spill over a little bit into the main game because of the fact that we're giving away a penalty. It might spill over into the main game because of what we want to do with the main game. He saved it. He saved it. What a save as well. Chan says, what a save. What a save this is. There's goal line technology being called in, but you don't need to see goal line technology for this one. This is easy, right? We know what's going on here. Yeah, and the plan then for the main save is we're going to do the British Steel Challenge, which the more I say it out loud, the more ridiculous it sounds. So the plan is to win every single piece of silverware there is in the British Isles. Now, promotions count as a trophy, by the way. Okay, so that's everything in England, Scotland, Northern Ireland, Wales, and the Republic of Ireland as well. So you're going to get your National League North and National League South, Wales League 2, Northern Ireland, all the little weird cups in Northern Ireland, Scotland, of course. So it's kind of like a little mini Builder Nations. There's like 5 Builder Nation saves essentially in this. You could jump around and make it an incredible journeyman save, which I think is probably how we're going to do it. You can make it super difficult and have it as you have to win everything in one nation before you move. I think that would be suicide for ourselves trying to do that. But I just reckon I think it's going to be fun. It's going to be fun because over here, like, we're all about journeyman. Like, we don't like to stick around at something for too long. We looked at Build a Nation this year. It didn't really work for us. Partly my fault, partly the game's fault, majority my fault. But yeah, I think for us, we're all about the story. We're all about interesting plot points, and I think that something like British Steel could give us a lot of interesting plot points. It's going to give us clubs that we've maybe never managed before, so we're going to get in and create some really interesting stories. I've managed in Wales before and I really loved it. So that was an option, was Build a Nation Wales. I always love going and managing in the lower leagues of Scotland. Like, I used to always do a Berwick Rangers save. Obviously in FM21 we don't talk about Scotland. And just lower league stuff is kind of my bag. So I think we just try that, you know? What do we think? Does that seem interesting? I think it's a long one. It's a full on, that is going to be the save, right? I think, well, I mean, you've got, what is it, 32 trophies, I think it is. We're going to need 50 seasons easily. Do you know what I mean? Like, so we're going to have to, it's going to be, this is the save and this is the save only. So there's going to be some stuff that we're going to have to try and work around. But let's try it. Let's try it. It might, what's the worst that can happen? They always say. So we might as well give it a go. It's it's very different, and I don't think there's too many people who are doing saves like that. So I think there's probably a reason for that, to be honest. But yeah, let's go and get it done. Yeah, I think it's gonna be a decent one. Yeah, 100%. 100% it's going to be the entire cycle. Cass, 100%. There's no way we can get this one done in anything less than that. George Bradley, I don't think he's a... Well, can Joe Linton drop back a little bit? Maybe could. When's the beta come out? We don't know. We don't know. They've given the full release date now for the actual game. So for FM23, they've given the release date out. So you could probably do a bit of guesswork around that. Do you know what I mean? Bungle Bongo drops in the follow. Appreciate that. 38 leagues and cups, 39. Don't think Rogi's got the second division of Wales listed. Oh, has he not? Come on, Rogie. You'd normally expect him to be like super on top of stuff like this, wouldn't you? Let's play Stanton because we're going to need him to create some stuff here, so we'll keep him there. He might tire, but Jed Spence play out there. Let's start like that. Usually 2 weeks before. Yeah, it's round about that, isn't it? So yeah, so I'd say probably back end of October. So yeah, I think the next 3 or 4 weeks is going to be pretty busy. So I need to get this save here finished. So like I say, probably about 2 seasons, I reckon. Finish this season 10. I then need a little bit of time to do some thumbnails, do some videos and stuff for the British Steel, some stuff for Arsenal as well, and yeah, like I say, the idea will be to roll straight from Arsenal into British Steel, but because of the fact that the game's going to come out, it usually needs a patch. There's usually something wrong with the game on release. I don't know whether we'll start the British Steel on day one. We might do. I don't know if everyone can remember last time or not as to whether the new game, the patch that worked with the, I'm sure it worked straight away actually. So there was a thing where it came out and it was like, yeah, here's the patch, and it just updates straight away and it sorts the issue out that there is. So that's the thing as well. We're going to obviously start. Oh shit. Should also say as well, we're going to start unemployed with no experience and no coaching badges as well. So, but I guess you kind of already presumed that, didn't you? Because, you know, we're not going to make it easy on ourselves, are we? So yeah, so that's my plans. What are your plans? Who's got a plan that's different to that? Yes. Alan Stanton again. I must hear this. Alan Stanton, great finish. I tell you what, we don't need to rest this boy. He's a great player, this lad. Barr holds it up well. Stanton beats the keeper at the near post. If you're a Birmingham City fan, you're going to have to be upset about that because you can't be getting beaten at your near post like that. It's a great finish, but still. Up to 16th, chat. Look at this. The game's not over, obviously, but things are looking positive. There's Borges. Goes past the defender, straight at the keeper. FM23 is the year you do the Vados challenge. I think if anyone can do it, Cass, I think you can do it. I back you for it. It is a good one. It's a good one. There's the Spanish one as well, isn't there? With the Spanish team that's technically in Africa. So there's that. That's a good one as well. But yeah, I think Vados. I think you can do Vados. All right. Heads away. Got a few players starting to tire a little bit, so time to make a couple of changes, I think. Danny Shithole might have to come off. Paddy McNair at centre back. I'll tell you what, let's pack the midfield a bit more. Let's bring Joe Linton off. Put Baptiste in there, there we go. There we go, that should do it. Hopefully we can see ourselves out here. A bit daunting, but the Pentagon, did the Pentagon with the European champions being Brighton. Nice. See, Pentagon challenge, again, that's like, puts hairs on your chest, that thing. I think for us, we'd have to inadvertently do a Pentagon. Bolton got beat 4-0 off Watford. Oof. We're currently 4 points behind Bolton. Okay? I believe in you, Cass. I think you can do Vadis. So yeah, any other ideas that are floating around? I was toying with the idea of doing a little YouTube video as well for save ideas for FM23, because you know what, everyone's gonna be doing them, so might as well get on that myself. Look at that. Look at all that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 games in a row without conceding. We're not gonna. The friendlies don't count. Do you know what I mean? So Coventry away next, and then the big one. If we get a result against Coventry, okay, then we're in a position where any result against Bolton could potentially see us overtake Bolton in a short space of time. That would be fun. You know, and I don't wish them any ill at all, apart from MJ Williams. But it would be funny. It would be funny. If there's a new league and I might have a little trip there. What league would you fancy, Cass? If you could get another league in there, what do you reckon? I'd like to see something else in Africa. Do you know what I mean? Like whether I'd go and manage in Egypt or not, I don't know, but part of me would quite like the option. It seems like the sort of league I would end up managing in at some point. Oh, look at that. Reece Morgan, they're suggesting that we go and have a look at. He is wanted by Seattle. Seattle? This guy's had a right career. He's gone from Cardiff Met Uni to Bolton to potentially Seattle. Unbelievable. Evan Ferguson. He looks decent, doesn't he? Transfer listed. 28 grand a week. Might be a little bit much. Might be a little bit much for us, but we're not sure. The actual value itself is probably too much for us. The African leg of the Pentagon is a struggle since it's just South Africa. I agree. It just makes it a bit. Just lacks something, doesn't it? Just lacks something. And the thing is, I enjoyed Indonesia. I enjoyed Indonesia. I thought it was great fun. You know? Matt Target, currently over at Malaga. Junior Firpo. Don't think so. Gavin Abbey at Man City. Presumably he's going to be good because he's at Man City. Pletnik. Patrick Pfeiffer. 6'5". Ooh. Bit too old for us though. 29. Grimes Bellanova. Brandon O'Reilly. See, his technicals are awful. His mentals and his physicals are great. His technicals are so bad. Wouldn't be against another league in Asia. Maybe a good way to combine the pyramid in India. Ooh, yeah, that'd be decent. See, the Indian league is quite handy as well. Again, a league I didn't really get to manage in this season, but would have been quite good fun. Who's just taken the Newcastle job? Ian Wood, was that? A Scottish new gen manager has just taken over. We're not even that far into the game. Then they could, like, Thomas Tuchel's still in the game. They could have done that, but fair enough. Get those crosses in early, then, shall we? So Stanton could need resting. Jordanian League. I mean, mate, Matty, you would know. You would know. You are the guy, the go-to guy for that sort of information. I couldn't even begin to tell you a single player who played in that league. It would be entirely guesswork on my behalf. But if you say that's the league that needs to be in, then let's have a look at it. So yeah, should we give Calvin Richards a run out? He probably does need a rest, doesn't he? Now, actually, let's do that. Bar can go out there. No, Bar doesn't like playing out wide. Interesting. Michael Arthur does, though. Let's do that instead. Somebody download the World League's pack to manage in Tahiti. Did you manage in Tahiti? Cass, I know you're hardcore, but that's even more hardcore than I thought. The World League pack sound, I mean, that's, yeah, we're talking mega levels here, right? Let's dial that up a smidge, go positive. Baptiste, poor ball in, gets it back again though. Second bite of the cherry, Mason Holgate. Shithole, Joelinton, inside, Chan off the crossbar. It's an early warning signal. It's an early warning for Coventry. We're coming for them. We are coming for them. Bolton 0-0 against Derby. We need to stop looking at Bolton scores. But, you know, we're only 14 points away from Sunderland, so we're not out of the playoff mix just yet. The playoff picture is still not decided because, of course, it's the Championship. Anything can happen. Echan gives us the lead. It's another goal for Norwich. Tahiti, like the French dependents or whatever, they get to take part in the Coupe de France. Couldn't say no to the challenge. I think that's quite interesting then. I think that's very interesting, actually. I'd never considered it. It's on my radar now, though. It's on my radar now. Tell you what else is on my radar now. Overtaking Coventry. Overtaking Bolton. Norwich City are on my radar. Oh, ball through. We've conceded a goal. We've conceded a goal, chat. What do we do? What do we do now? I mean, I guess eventually it was coming, but yeah, he's just left his man. Wade just stood watching him. He's got to follow that run. Got to follow that run, hasn't he? Alright, keep going. We can win this. Joaquin on for Wade, actually. Plenty of time to turn around. Plenty of time. Loads of time. Well, there's a free kick now, so that's not. Good tackle. Good challenge, Borges. Chan, back to Borges. Bar. I thought Bar gave the ball away there. Baptiste over the top. Bar's chasing onto it. Hey. There we go. Now we're talking. What a ball. Baptiste. What a run from Bar, though. What a run. And that's brave. That's brave. Keeper's there. Bar goes in with his feet. That's what you're allowed to do as a forward, presumably on this game. You know, goalkeepers are not a protected species on this version of FM. Johnny Kenny's given Bolton the lead at half time. Well, she's been sent off. Michael MacArthur's not having a great game here, so let's look to bring him off. Looking a bit nervous as well. Borges has got an injury, so we'll put. So let's put Stanton on. Then Joelinton can go there. Box to box, there you go. That should help. That should help see things out, I'd imagine. I would hope, anyway. Extra bodies in the midfield should theoretically block out them coming forward. Bolton have dropped a goal. It's a 1-1 against Derby. We've got another 3 points. 1 goal conceded in 6 games. 1 goal conceded in 6 games. And we're now 2 points behind Bolton. What about that? And they've got to come to Carroll Road now. Now. Football Manager will probably have Bolton beat us because of the fact that we're on a good run. Narratively, it would be good for Bolton to beat us, but I think the way that we're playing, I think we've got to feel comfortable with it. Surely we've got to be excited. We've got to start feeling positive. Questions asked of Southgate. Why? What's happened? What's the final score? Did they lose? Obviously, I'm watching this, so I don't know. So it's not me being facetious and being like, "Did you lose?" I don't know. I genuinely don't know. 1-0 Italy. England lost and relegated. Well, I mean, it is a really, really great competition, the Nations League. So, as a person who's always said it's a great competition, it would be hilarious to see England relegated and Scotland promoted, because I know how good this competition is. Ultimately, let's face it, it doesn't matter, does it? It doesn't matter. It's a glorified friendly trophy, if that. Like, you know, they've lost to Italy, like, who are gonna be there or thereabouts for the World Cup. Last goal in open play was 4.5 matches ago against the Côte d'Ivoire in March. Oh, really? Last goal in open play in a competitive game was November against San Marino. Well, but I guess this is the thing, though. I mean, like, he's a pragmatic manager. He is a pragmatic manager, and you've kind of got that trade-off, really, because he's got England to 2 finals. He got England to a final and a semi-final, right? No other manager's done that, so you can't instantly go, he needs sacking, because he's done something that no other English manager's done, bar one. Like, so it seems really strange to get on his back about that. If you're gonna get rid of him, who comes in instead? Because you've just lost Graham Potter now, so that would have been the obvious replacement, and I think most people would have thought that was probably the plan before Chelsea got involved. Who's your options? Let's hear who your options are, because I don't think there is many options now. Like, seriously, what is left? I mean, you can have Steven Gerrard if you want. More than happy to give you Steven Gerrard. Give it to Gerrard and Lampard together. Is Wayne Rooney going to be England manager? No, he's not. Tuchel, Pochettino. Do you reckon? I can't see it. I can't see it. I can't see Tuchel wanting the England job. I can't see Pochettino. I could see maybe doing it. I could maybe see Pochettino doing it, because I can't see Pochettino getting Another Premier League job? Really? Like, Brendan Rodgers is now on a bad run of form with England, so he's not going to get it, and he would have been the person who would have been high up on the list for it. West Ham, by the way, West Ham away. That's a pretty good draw for the coffers in the FA Cup. Like, David Moyes isn't doing great at West Ham anymore, so he's out the running. Eddie Howe is probably the most informed manager, but is owned by murderers, so they're not going to let him go. Unless, of course, that means that, England somehow end up with a new stadium and there's no questions asked. Some money will pass hands somewhere. That could happen, and that would then allow Pochettino to go to Newcastle. I suppose could work. They're not going to get Postecoglou from Celtic. He's not going to go. I'm struggling, genuinely struggling to think who you would, and this is not me being facetious either, I'm genuinely struggling to think who you could get that would be good. Because it's the thing, you don't just want, you don't just want a manager, you've got a manager right now who you don't seem to like, who kind of does everything that you need, really. But his face doesn't quite, well, his face fits perfectly, which is why he's there. And everyone goes, oh, he's a yes man, like, yeah, because you don't want an England manager to run around calling people cunts. It's just, it's not a thing. It's not a thing. You can't have that. Jose Mourinho would not work as the England manager. It just wouldn't happen. As funny as it would be, it just wouldn't happen. And even then, he's not going to want the job now because he's onto a good thing with Roma. So I don't know what you've got left, really. Do you know what I mean? And I think it's quite worrying, really, now that you've gone from being in a very comfortable position where you were all having a great time last year. Football's coming home and all that jazz, and then all of a sudden it's back to oh dear, what happens now? Like, it literally it papered over the cracks, and it was, the problems were always there, but they were never addressed. I'm still racking my brains to think who would actually be available for the England job, and I can't think of anybody. Cass is saying get Sven back in. Like, it's not a bad shout. Sean Dyche, hands off Sean Dyche. I want him at Villa. But this is the thing. But again, Dyche would be great. But if England fans are complaining about Southgate, put me in charge. Chan has just given Norwich the lead against Bolton. Adam Ida has ran half the pitch on the counter-attack. Goes round the defenders as if they're not even there. Get a Vegaman in from the women's team. That would be. Give it to Emma Hayes at Chelsea. She's fantastic as well. But the problem is, though, is that the media would just really make that awful. Great ball. Adam Ida. You know that the media would go so toxic on that, and it would just be horrific. Even Rapawaya. Spence pulls it back to Rashika. Stanton gets his head on it. Auda. Bar. Auda. 2-0. Oh, they'd be horrendous, Cass. They'd be vile. Ignoring the fact that they've all been celebrating the England women's team winning the Euros this year anyway. They all jumped on that bandwagon. They'd then turned very quickly on Vegaman. Very, very quickly. And you know exactly what would be said, and it'd be awful. Same as Emma Hayes. You know that she'd just be the subject of so much abuse, and it's just horrific. It's just not right. People are already vile towards England players. Exactly. It's a societal problem. That's the thing, that society needs to change. So many issues that are wrong here that just something like that, which should be seen as a progressive change, would just cause more problems than good. Because those two women are more than qualified to be doing that job. But it's ridiculous. It's disgusting to think that they wouldn't even get the chance because of the abuse that they get. Emma Hayes got viral comments with heads above people doing punditry and comms. Yeah, I know, it's disgusting, isn't it? Like Alex Scott gets them as well, and you just like these women. They know football. They know football inside out, and they're great and they're articulate and they've got a fresh perspective on it. And also, they've won things. Let's not forget that. Like, you can put that against any other England manager. They have won things. Look at your trophy cabinet. If there's nothing there, then does your opinion count as much as someone who's won a lot of trophies? You could argue not, but they've never played a men's game, have they? They've never played a men's game of football. Same game. If anything, they're better because they've actually had to create the game. They've brought a generation of women through, developed them, increased the abilities of those players, turned players from just players who like a bit of a kick around to players who can win an international tournament. They've developed the women's game to a level that is, up there with some of the best in the world now. But you're right, yeah, let's just dismiss them straight away because that's what would happen. Shocking, isn't it? Shocking. Good ball in, headed away. Whereas now you'd have to sit and look for which retired Premier League footballer do you want to give the England job to? Chihan. Oh, is that 3? It's offside. I mean, we are showing Bolton what they're missing right now, aren't they? Miles offside. I think this was one of the Story Hunter achievements, wasn't it? Was take over a team and overtake them. I think it might have been a rival. Overtake a rival was the achievement we wanted to do. Rashika nods it down. Adam Ida turns. He thought about it, didn't he? Rashika gives the ball away. He is starting to tire. We need to make a change there. Is Borges not on the bench? Oh dear. Bart knocks up for Stanton. Yes. There we go. 3-0. You mentioned Rooney. He's not doing a great job at Derby County. Yeah, but I was literally all I was doing was just spitballing ideas. Cast like who could they get in? Like Beckham. Do they dig out David Beckham and go, you can save your country, David? You know what I mean? Like, you wouldn't put it past the FA to think that as well, would you? Yeah. Oh, Johnny Kenny scores. Or do they try and get Jordan Henderson to retire early and give it to him? Does Klopp take it? Does Klopp walk from Liverpool to take it? I mean, that would be a heel turn and a half, given the fact that Liverpool think it's its own country. Oh, penalty! Jed Spence handball. Bit of panic here now. Paddy Kenny steps up. slams it down 3-2 now. We've gone from being very, very comfortable. 19 goals this season for Johnny Kenny. He's a player we need to be on, keeping our eyes out for him. Klopp's the 7th season curse going on. He might be getting the sack. It is a thing, isn't it? It is a thing. He's also, as well, you can see that the players are burning out as well. Look at Mane. Like, every club Klopp's left, the players have been an absolute mess for a couple of years after he's gone. He just hammers them. And they don't look sharp. They don't look sharp. Okay, so we overtake Bolton now in the league standings. Bo Henriksen, is that former Bolton player Bo Henriksen? No, it's not, is it? Is it? Apparently not. But he's just turned up and taken on the over the hot seat there. So, Eve, I'll see, how are you? We're all very well, thank you. Nice to see you. Family are very, very good. Andrew, welcome Statline. Who cares about the Nations League? Look, Andrew, what you'll learn about England fans is that they will pick and choose their battles as to what they like and what they don't like. You know. Quickly pop this into the Discord here. That didn't take very long. Just updating the Discord as we go along. Pep Guardiola says we're playing Alex Standard out of position. No, we're not. Why is he supposed to play? Playing as a left winger. I think he is playing as a left winger. I mean, to be honest, wherever he's playing, he's scoring goals. So does it matter? I mean, you're not going to get Guardiola leaving Man City for the England job, are you? Maybe? Maybe? Probably want to be in the AML. Yeah, more than likely. More than likely. Which, to be fair, like, put him there. I mean, we've got him as a wide midfielder at the minute. We could play him as a winger quite easily. But yeah, play him up at the top. He would crush teams out there. But at the minute, because I was a little bit unsure about how we were going to look, whether we were going to be quite shaky or not. I wasn't entirely sure of our mentality. I wanted to be a little bit more defensive, to be honest, with our setup, so hence why we're playing just essentially Brexit ball, 4-4-2, get out to the wings, get the ball in the box if we can for the two big strikers we've got there, which, to be fair, it's kind of been working quite nicely. You know, he is the player that we need to rest, though, because he's clearly been working a lot. In fact, let's try and rest him now, actually. Jed Spence can have a bit of a rest. Ethan Laird can come in. Duarte, let's change that for Joaquin. Actually, Danny Shithole could do with a rest as well, couldn't he? Mason Holgate's just about back. Bar maybe in midfield. Don't want to change too much though, that's the thing. Bar for Joe Linton, there we go. Evening Dan, evening Bolby, how are we? Welcome. Hope we're well. Hope life's treating you guys good. You'll be pleased to know that Norwich have now overtaken Bolton in the league, having just beaten them 3-2 at Carrow Road. So we started this evening stream at 21st. We're now currently 11th. Been on something of a march, to be honest. Oh, I thought Adam Ido had got that there. Should have scored. Sorry to hear having a crap week, Dan. Sorry to hear that, man. Tony Ball is in full effect. Yeah. Oh. Old Tony Brexit Ball over here. I mean, we've nearly scored an own goal there, to be honest. Like, part of me thinks that should possibly have been given. It's going to be interesting to see what happens if a team attacks at us, because I think we've managed to hold a team off so far. There is a chance that maybe Huddersfield will actually do that against us. So let's see. Are holding the ball well though. Laird goes way outside. He's put a hell of a shift in there. Great run, great ball. What a goal. What a goal that is. Right. We said when we took over Norwich that it wasn't impossible to get in the playoffs. It's not, is it? It's not impossible at all if we keep this sort of form up. I mean, He-Chan, we know we're losing him in a few weeks, but I think if we can get another big striker in, the crosses that we're putting in are really, really effective. Really effective. The wing play is looking pretty exciting, to be honest. I'm going to pull all the data hub together as well, and we're going to look and see just how the team's playing. But from the highlights that we're watching, I get the impression that how we wanted to play is kind of working. You know, like, you can't really argue with the results, can you? It seems to be doing what it's meant to do. Rashika gets to the byline. It's a second. Adam Ida with a great goal. That's number 2. Dan found out one of my best friends who helped me. My mum was ill in hospital. I hadn't seen her since then. Before last night came and told me because she could have cancer. Shit, man. Sorry to hear that. That's awful, awful news. Awful news. Sending big love out to all of you at this point, man. Like I say, you know, hopefully it's not terminal. Hopefully it's not inoperable. Hope it's as sounds bad, but hopefully it's fixable, should we say, or certainly manageable. But yeah, ultimately, big love to you and everyone else, mate. Chai Rice for the header. 2-1 now. He's not getting marked either, is he? That's the problem. You throw your fists all you like. Mason Holgate, it was your fault. It's another win though. It's another win. We're now 1 point ahead of Bolton. 1 point clear. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. Yes, Cozza Bob. How the devil are you, man? Welcome, welcome, welcome. Hope life is treating you good. Norwich have won 8 on the spin. 8 straight victories. 8 straight victories. Shout out to Pay not to be working tonight. The Twitch servers are not having it. But if you're not following Cozza Bob, please do so. Please do so. He's a wonderful man. Not as good as Norwich. It has to be said. Bob, this has been mental, mate. This has been crazy. Like, you were here on Wednesday. You saw us take a job where we were bottom of the table. You know, excuse me, Simplici Menga. Just seeing his name, and that's, look at him. Look at him. He's only 20. He's 21. He's coming up the first team, to be honest. Flair 16, fitness, stamina, their acceleration. He could be somebody, couldn't he? He could be someone. 8th is absolute progress. 8th is absolute progress. He's 6'2". He's 18. Nice. Look, Bob, look. There's Bolton. There's Bolton. We left them here. Where's the Ipswich game? Yeah, we left them here. They're still there. Like, we took over here. We're now here. Like, yeah, we've done all right. We've done all right. You know, that is our current schedule. These friendly matches. The Birmingham win wasn't ours, but yeah, we've only just started to concede goals. So is that the yard pull for the season? Yeah, I mean, look, we've not got many games left, and I reckon we could sneak into the playoffs if we keep going. Yeah, that's a good plan, Dan. That's a good plan. Yeah, you need to be there for each other. But yeah, as we say, big love to you both and all your families, and you know that everyone around here is going to be sending their regards as well. So yeah, we'll all be rooting for you. They got a player called Carlos Valderrama. Or did I just They have got a player called Carlos Valderrama. We've got to sign Carlos Valderrama. 51 million. Unbelievable. Carlos Valderrama. Look at that. 6'5", jumping reach, 18 to 20. Colombian centre half. Oh, I'm in love. Bear that, please. That'd be great. Okay, we've got some strikers coming through. Got some fullbacks. Nothing else. Nothing else. Ottawozzi isn't interested in going to Cincinnati. Not on loan. 4 million quid. We could do with more than that, couldn't we? He's valued at 8. I wonder if we can actually get a bit more money for him. Let's hold that out just for now. Adam Hyder's ill. That's not going to help us. That's not going to help us. Look at this. Watford and Forest, 6th and 7th. This is when we find out what we're made of at this point. God, there's some transfer values all over the place here, isn't there? I mean, I think that has to be one of the ones we'll accept. Anderlecht's the one that they want, but 5.7 million is what we want in the bank. So everyone else might have to show us some cash here. Right, could be a heavy rotation week. So Watford first, then Forest. Hyder's injured, so we need big tall strikers. So Joe Linton goes up front. Abdullah Bar comes in. Stanton comes in for Jed Spence. Borges. Danny Shithole can come in place of Paddy McNair. Who can play on the bench. Menga, I think, can be part of this as well. Roba, there was another player who's now starting to come back to fitness. Okay, here we go. Let's move Luke Dalton off, although he is... Actually, he could be someone quite interesting. Let's put him in place of Abdullah Bar. Is that Brazil's greatest ever midfielder? Yes, it is. Yes, it is, actually. He is currently enjoying life at Norwich, believe it or not, Inky. How are you? Hope you're well. I saw you streamed earlier. How was it? Did you enjoy it? It's nice to have you back. Hope I've seen you good. How are his attributes? His attributes are as expected, Visual Linton. They're all right, actually. They're not too bad. He's still doing the business. He's sort of been there for a couple of years. Bravery's still good. Work rate's still really good. First touch is still decent. He's still very aggressive. Yeah, £3 million, and yeah, he's been there. Someone's made an offer for Big Joe. They've made an offer, but no one's getting anywhere near his value. So he's not going anywhere just yet. And he plans to come to Scotland and do a gig soon, asks Renix. Sort of. We're just waiting to work out how we do it, to be honest, Renix. It's been obviously with the pandemic and with two kids at the minute, it's a little bit too it's a bit sort of all over the place right now with regards to comedy, but we might be making a bit of a comeback at some point. We've done a couple of things over here, so yeah, maybe next year we might start getting back up the road. So I'd like to come back up. Do miss gigging in Glasgow, so definitely have to try and do that. Whereabouts in Scotland are you, Renix? We'll try and work out where we can go for. Inky started unemployed, had a job offer from Brackley. Nice. Bob said he thought you were his Goodger's second account. Stanton's injured. That's not foot injury. We don't need that, do we? That is not what we want. So let's put Rober on. No, Borges can go on instead. Let's try and go a bit more positive. But we may have to potentially lock up a bit earlier. We could move Jolinton to midfield. Great finish. Eze with the strike. It might not be 9 wins in a row. It might not be 9 wins in a row here. A foot injury when playing football is certainly not good. That's a very good point, Boltby. That's a very good point. Hopefully it's not a break as well. Right, I'll tell you what, let's... Right, it might not be what we're trying to do now, but it might help us. Change the shape a smidge, see if that works. It'll be a red when it's game over, it'll be 2 days. I hope so. I hope it's nothing too serious, but you can never really tell, can you? That's the thing. Oh, loads of space. Great finish. I mean, if we're going to lose our hot streak, lose it to a strike like that, right? Maybe going to all these players in midfield. It's not really helping. Who's that? It's nowhere near. Yeah, I did laugh at England, don't worry, Inky. Yeah, we're just trying to work out who you're going to get as manager, because we've narrowed it down to there's nobody. So I don't know what your thoughts are. I don't know who's an option. There doesn't seem to be anybody. Do you know what I mean? There genuinely isn't anyone to take over. So I'm not really sure what you guys do going forward with that. What happened to Bolton? Well, interesting question. Very interesting question. There was dissension in the ranks. Dissension. And they were being pricks, to be honest, Apocalypse. So we just about balanced ourselves out, right? And then the players started kicking off. So we thought, fine, fuck them, we'll leave. Yes, Borges pulls one back in. Jose box office disaster will be amazing. Sean Dyche, says Apocalypse. You know, get your hands off Sean Dyche. We want him. We need him at Villa. As we were saying earlier, though, you've missed your shot, because Graham Potter would have been the perfect appointment for England. But yeah, just a couple of weeks too late. Steve Bruce would be a good shout. Tim Sherwood. I'm sure that would be a great appointment. I mean, as I say, I think give it to Gerrard and Lampard. You know, and show just how good they are. Great save. It's off. It's not offside. It's not offside at all. Mike Bassett. Could do. Sack him now, not wait until the World Cup's over. But this is the thing, Inky. Like, remember, go back to when you got knocked, to when you lost to Italy, and like it was, you were a penalty kick away. You know, he's got used to a semi-final. He's got used to a final. You can't just sack him. You can't just sack him because he's no other England manager has ever done that. He's overachieved. This is what England fans need to understand. He's overachieved. You know, if the expectation is he has to win the World Cup, then the expectation is wrong, because he's not going to win the World Cup. Do you know what I mean? We only got there because he waited for profit of 30 million from England reaching the home final. Yeah, exactly. Appreciate the follow hard rule. Welcome in. Yeah, like, this is the thing. If England weren't playing at home, they were not getting to the final at all. No chance. Literally got to the final. Just, I can't even say why. It was just, there was a momentum shift, and it's not. You look at how they played; they didn't deserve to be in the final. Do you know what I mean? And you know, you can then obviously say, right, you're a penalty kick away from winning things, and then fast forward, what, a year later, and you're already talking about sacking the guy because he's not winning in a friendly competition. Come off it. Even Raju, how are you, buddy? It's odds on he goes after the World Cup. Might as well change things now. Well, that's suicide, changing just before a tournament. Surely, if you were going to get rid of him, you get rid of him after the last tournament. That's what you do. You get rid of him after the last tournament, because who's going to come in now with what, like 2 months, a month? Okay, right. So you're saying you're going to get a manager essentially instantly, right? And then he's going to come in. He's going to re-pick his side. So whatever he picks is going to be. You know, there's going to be a certain section of the media saying that squad is still Southgate's squad. So he's not picked. He's not had time to change. Or if it goes wrong in the World Cup, then we shouldn't have sacked Southgate before the World Cup. You know, I think that the England fans need to lower their expectation and remember that getting to a final and getting to a semi-final is more than they should have expected. Really, they have overachieved in the same way that Leicester overachieved and won a Premier League. It's overachievement. It's not expectation. Like, you know, I had to talk to my Leicester fan mate about that one. He was like, he didn't think that Leicester overachieved. I was like, so you're telling me that the season before they nearly got relegated, that the following season when that started, the first conversation in the dressing room was, we're going to win the league, lads. Like, no, of course it wasn't. Don't be so stupid. You know? Yeah, exactly, Inky. And I was saying this to you all last year, that you weren't playing anybody. England weren't playing anybody, and that's why they got to the final. Second, they came up against a half-decent side who just sat back and said, right, play through us. Couldn't do it. Like, we joked. England couldn't even score past Scotland. Do you know what I mean? There was... And yeah, and you're looking there at you know, saying there about, all right, you know, the team with Maguire and Shaw and Saka and Bellingham. Saka and Bellingham are great players. I'm not having about that one, but you're right. Maguire and Shaw just aren't good enough. Tomori should be playing. I don't know if he did play or not tonight, but, you know, for me, you know, players like Tomori, Tammy Abraham. I mean, Tammy Abraham, there was a thing on the radio the other day. I know radio stuff is designed to be provocative, but they were saying about Ivan Toney getting in the Premier League, in the England squad. I mean, Apocalypse. We're talking about Farmers Leagues. The Premier League is the Farmers League. Oh no, it's 5 Live, Inky. I listen to 5 Live. I don't listen to TalkSport. The Premier League is the Farmers League. But no, there was a thing where they were saying about Ivan Toney scoring goals in the Premier League. That's obviously what's got him into the England squad. But that Tammy Abraham scored goals for Roma, and they're going, oh, but you know, but is it as impressive as Ivan Toney scoring in the Premier League? Yes, it is. It's much more impressive because Tammy Abraham plays for Roma. Like, I don't get it. This infatuation that the Premier League is the epitome and the pinnacle of all football is nonsense, and that's why the expectation here is for England to be winning things when it's that misguided belief. It's ignoring everything else that's around you. You know, it's ignoring everything and being like blinkered to what we have is best because that's what we see. You know, and that's the problems. That's the problems. You know. Yeah, absolute tunnel vision, Cass. And they're not fussed because they don't need to be fussed about it. You know what I mean? Like, that's your point right there, Apocalypse. That is the point. There's no English player is the star of any of those teams. That's why the Premier League could be full of star players, but none of those star players are English players, which is why you're not going to win anything. Like, oh, Robber, stupid. What's he doing? Ridiculous. Right. 2-0. We're going to shut up shop, even at 2-0. Shame we have to lock things down, but 2-0 defeats, isn't it? So 2 defeats on the bounce is not good. But yeah, like you look at any English team, like Harry Kane is not the best player at Tottenham anymore. Do you know what I mean? Like he's not Son. Like, Son's the best player at Tottenham. You know, De Bruyne is the best player at Man City. I don't know who the best player at Chelsea is. But you know, there must be one. There must be one somewhere. You know, Liverpool's best player isn't English. Arsenal's best player isn't English. Yeah, Odegaard, exactly. Yeah. Like, you know, United's best player isn't English. Again, not entirely sure who he is, but that's the whole point, isn't it? Like these. I just think it was easy for us to say last year, particularly as Scotland fans. I know there's like this, you know, this local rivalry banter, you know, but At least we're a bit more realistic in the fact that we know that, that we're shit. You know, we know we're shit. Only teams play who is English is West Ham, and that's West Ham. Yeah. But this is but it takes a lot for sort of people to look inward and accept that they're not good enough, or that they need to make improvements. It takes a lot to do that. Do you know what I mean? And it's an acquired skill. Not everybody has that, so it is difficult to sort of be objective about your performance and about your abilities and stuff like that. And I guess it's difficult to sort of say, look, yeah, we aren't good enough, but I think that there needs to be a level now of acceptance and going, right, that was a fluke getting to the final and getting to the semi-final the year before. It's not going to happen again. Because too much needs to improve. And as I say, getting a manager who's going to get you to do that, I just don't know where you find one. And I think that Sean Dyche, as much as I love Sean Dyche, I think he's brilliant, but I think you'd all kick off about Sean Dyche, because he wouldn't, you'd then argue stupid things like, oh, he's never managed players of this level, he's never managed these difficult players before. It's gonna be like, what? Shut up. That's the issue. Southgate got Borough relegated. Yeah. I think exactly. The thing is, no manager who wins takes on an international job. Why would they? International management is not what you do. USA are a bit of a mess at the minute. Yeah, they're a bit all over the place, aren't they? They lost to Japan, which I know is not. Japan are okay. Arsene Wenger, why not? Because he's 107, that's why. Wenger's not taking the England job at all. They keep their hands off Eddie Howe. Hey, look, if there's blood money to go around, Eddie Howe's gone. But ironically, he's probably the most approachable English manager at the minute. Do you know what I mean? That's the thing. If you wanted an English manager, he's the one, because you've missed out on Potter now. Wenger managing England would be like Ferguson managing Liverpool. No, not at all. I don't think there'd be a single England fan would hate the idea of Wenger managing England. I think there'd be many people would be angry about the idea of Ferguson managing Liverpool. Ironically, the best chance you had was Big Sam, but exactly, yeah. And if Howe goes, yeah, they'll just kidnap Pochettino's kids or something and put him in charge. It would actually work quite handily. Do some sort of deal during the World Cup. There you go. All sorted. Yeah, you can almost see it happen. I know many people who are happy with Eddie Howe. Yeah, they're happy now, but they weren't happy at the time when it was being offered. They wanted Pochettino, they wanted Zidane, they wanted Fonseca. Eddie Howe at the time, remember we spoke about this, was seen as an underwhelming appointment. and it should be when you were being given the amount of money you've been given to only end up with Eddie Howe. But again, it's seeing that bigger picture. It's thinking things through. It's looking at it going, it's changed my opinion. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, a lot of money will do that. It was a realistic appointment given where they were. Yes and no. Yes and no. It was a no risk appointment. It was a no risk appointment. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, the second the results change, then it's all out in it, which it is at all football clubs. Football fans have got very, very short memories. Everyone knows that. Everyone knows that. Oh yeah, exactly. Yeah. If Steve Bruce got any money, then yeah, he'd have kept you up. That's actually true. But you spent 100-odd million quid in January. Of course, you weren't going down at that point. But if you hadn't had any of that money, you were fucked. And you were gone by the end of January, essentially. Steve Bruce is the greatest manager I've ever seen. Him and Alex McLeish, get them both in charge. I thoroughly endorse that. Yeah, it's again, Inky, we've spoken about this a million times. It's going from no money to the kind of money you're spending and where the money's coming from. That's what people have the issue with. Mark Hughes is a fucking shonky manager, and he gets there on reputations alone. I say Tim Sherwood, put him in there. Bring Tony Pulis in. Bring Tony Pulis. Bruce is a better manager than he is a writer. I mean, the thing is, have you read? We've read the book, right? We read the book on stream. Well, read a couple of passages of it on stream. Paddy McNair off the underside. Abu Dhabi aren't no saints either. They're not. But they also don't own a football club. An entire country do not own Man City. And again, I raised those points as well at the time. Also, with the Chelsea takeover as well at the time. So I made my points known very, very much. I feel like I missed something last night. You were managing to see much further up the country. It was interesting. It was interesting. What happened, Richard, is there was player dissent. There was skullduggery. They started bitching and moaning and calling team meetings and that and going like, oh, boss, this is going wrong. Don't like this. And I was like, well, I don't see what the problem is here. But we thought, well, fine. If these guys are going to kick off, we'll see what options there is. And Norwich were bottom of the league at the time. So we thought, Norwich is a big club. Big opportunity here. And yeah, we left. And then we've gone on up until this point now, we've lost 2 games in a row. We went 8 wins in a row to start our Norwich job. So we're we've risen quite nicely, and we're now above Bolton. So yeah, it's the link. It's not the links with Saudis though, Inky. It's the fact that Saudi Arabia as a country own you. That's the problem. The fact that the actual country owns a football club. That's what people have the issue with, because that's what's not right. And because of the fact that the country owns you, then unfortunately the fans do have to then take the brunt of that. The fans do have to then look at themselves and go, how do I feel about that? How do I feel about that? And if you guys are happy enough to just ignore where the money comes from and go, well, fuck it, we're getting a new right back, who cares? Fine. But you've obviously got to also accept, as we've said previously, that there will be some people who will look at that and go, I can't believe you've done that. I can't believe you've done that. And, we've had discussions as well about, what you would leave your club for. And, if someone is happy enough to keep supporting that, then that's your prerogative. But as I've always said, if it was my club, I'd have ran a fucking mile. Sam Greenwood. But the Newcastle fans aren't the ones that was targeted at, though, Toby. It's Newcastle fans are the ones who are running around in. Well, it's not their fault, but they could have campaigned against it. They could have campaigned against it, but they didn't, because they saw the money and went, let's have a bit of that. They could have campaigned against it in the same way they campaigned against Mike Ashley, because they didn't want Mike Ashley in charge. So the fans have to shoulder some of the blame. Do you know what I mean? Hypothetically, if Putin buys Sunderland, would you accept it as a fan? God no. God no. Absolutely not. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Deshaun Watson goes and joins the Browns. Like, I mean, Ronaldo back to Man United. There's fans who were cheering about the fact that Ronaldo had returned, and there's a lot of Man United fans that I know who just sort of went, "Oh shit, we don't want this. This is not good." Like having kids wanting Ronaldo shirts and having to sort of like explain to them that, let's not buy one with Ronaldo. Would you prefer a one that has, a different player on the back of it? How's about Anthony Martial? That's the problem. Like, football's just full of shit, really, and it's awful. It's disgusting. And again, Inky, I mean, you can chuck that in if you want about Adam Johnson, but it's one crime versus all the crimes in the world. Come on. No. I'm not saying it's right or wrong, but it's a weak argument if that's your only argument. Ronaldo on top of finding out about the stuff Ollie was doing in Norway. Yeah. And then of course you've got the other, with the other player that they've had to get rid of as well, that is coming back, and just like, it's just shocking, absolutely shocking. You can't be proud of any of that. You can't be proud of any of that. It's just, it's not right. It's not right. And as a fan, you've got, you have a moral compass. You have a moral compass to look at that and go, do I agree with this? And most fans won't even bat an eyelid about it. Most fans will not care at all, like, because they don't think like that. Rightly or wrongly, and you can argue however you want about whether or not football fans should think morally, whether they have an obligation to think morally. That's an argument that you can have whenever you want, but I think that if you're aware of it and it's making you think something, then you need to have a think about it. Like, if you're happy just to, if you thought about it and you've had a, you've sort of went, right, okay, look, I've been back and forth on this. I'm going to be all right with it. I'm just going to say okay. Then fine. That's your call. But you can't then not expect other people to raise that point and be like, but why? Like, but why? Like, again, like, for example, if we said if we said right now, like, the fact that the World Cup was played in Qatar, like, we know that there's human rights issues out there. So you know that. So you've now got that moral choice of, well, am I going to watch the World Cup because I know this? Like, am I okay just ignoring everything else that's gone wrong? Am I going around everything else that's gone wrong here? Am I happy to just ignore all that because of the World Cup going on? Do you know what I mean? And it's that, in it. Like, and we've obviously said before, I've said before here that I'm not bothered about the World Cup at all because of all that sort of shit. And for me, the fact that there's a World Cup going on is not enough. That is not a good enough reason for me to forget everything else that's happening. Do you know what I mean? Yeah, last World Cup wasn't exactly in a morally correct place either. So, yeah. But yeah, corruption in the money in the. Let's host the World Cup in Peterborough. I mean, I'd love that. I'd love that if it was just literally in Peterborough. So they've only got London Road as the stadium and nothing else. Now it's all games are played here. Okay, fine. I mean, again, Inky, I think some of you you're stretching some bits. I think, yes, there's a difference between morally correct invasions of war and stuff, and anti-abortion laws are a state rather than the national. Again, you're right. There's a lot of issues though. They've got a massive homophobia problem as well, and there's far too many religious people to make a country work. But let's be honest, there is a hell of a lot of bad happening right now and it's the sports washing element of let's make it all go away with sport. Like, look at the Live Golf tournament as well. Exactly the same thing as what's happened with Newcastle. Saudis have bought out a golf tournament with blood money. Sports washed a tournament. Convinced all these players to go and play on it for loads of money. So the PGA said, right, fine, you can go and do your blood tournament, that's fine. And then, but you're not playing on the PGA. And now you've got all your blood golfers wanting PGA points because they're going to miss out on playing other tournaments because they're doing the Saudi tournament. Like, nah, fuck off. You can't take your money and still want your cake and everything like that. Like, nah, not at all. No chance. If you've taken the poison dollar, you've taken the poison dollar. You know what I mean? WWE do it as well. Going to Saudi Arabia, it's disgusting. Formula One, disgusting. Boxing, disgusting. It's literally just covering up atrocities with sport because people munch on sport. They can't get enough of it. As I say, people will forget everything. People will forget absolutely everything. The second you put sport into it, just they're happy to, just ignore whatever goes by. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Money goes out the window. Mm-hmm. Yeah, you're right, Inky. It's not just Newcastle, but that doesn't make it better. There's loads of other cunts as well. But yeah, there is loads of other cunts as well. But again, those other cunts don't own the entire thing. Like, Saudi Arabia don't own Formula One. The fact that Saudi Arabia as a country got banned from illegally streaming the Premier League and then bought into it and just went, okay, fine, we'll not illegally stream it then. Like, that's just a bit. It's all just a bit, you know what I mean? You know, the Premier League should have had a backbone and not bowed down to it, but it was never going to happen because, of course, they're morally corrupt as well. They saw the money as well, so they wanted a bit of it. You know. Yeah, it's working out how you deal with it, as you say. Yeah, Premier League's fault for allowing it, 100%. 100%, but it shouldn't have gone through. Yeah, I lay the blame firmly at the Premier League's doorstep. Evening, MJ, how are you, buddy? I can't remember how we got into this, to be honest, Inky, but it happens, doesn't it? It goes around. I think it probably would have started with the World Cup, I'm guessing. Oh no, it was about Eddie Howe. It was about Eddie Howe. Just saying that you know, someone would come in for him, and he would literally go wherever the money went, because that's essentially where he's gone in the first place. Norwich are doing all right. Norwich are doing good. Raggio, look, we've gone from here to here. We went. We're now below Bolton because we've had 3 defeats on the bounce, but we went 8 wins in a row, which pretty impressed with that, to be honest. And we're now into the moments where the transfer window is going to open, and we're going to be stuck in the middle of a takeover. So, oh dear. Oh, Matty, you've got a really interesting take on it, then, haven't you? Yeah, if you're there and even you're saying it shouldn't have happened, then that's very interesting. I mean, obviously, right, I'm going to say this now, okay? Actually, let's do this. If we're in the middle of a takeover on this game, okay? Because we're talking about it right now, okay? If it's from a morally corrupt country, I'm resigning. Okay? You have my word on this, right? Because I've shouted about it all through the season. Okay, Inky? Here's my deal. If this comes from a horrendous source, then we're walking. Okay? Just putting it out there. Feel free to clip that so we can come back to it. So hopefully it's going to be a local businessman. Definitely going to be a Norwich-based businessman. I hope so. I hope it is. Local chip shop owner. They also need a wasp killing stipulation too. Yeah, I think so. Creeds, we won 1-0 against Uruguay. Do you think Iran can qualify out of Group B? Are you an Iran fan, Creeds? I hope so. I hope you can get out of the group, because is that you're in with England. So if you are, then yeah, hopefully you get out, and then England don't get through. So that's my hope. That's my hope. Iranian Taremi scored. Nice. Are you feeling confident for the World Cup? We'll make our group being a group of death. I mean, don't talk about groups of death, Inky. Given the World Cup, all of them are groups of death, literally. Yeah, well, you know what? Yeah, hopefully you do well then, Creeds. Because, as I say, as a Scotland fan, I'm alright with that. Iran and Wales go through. Could you imagine, Cass? Could you imagine? That would be amazing. That would be amazing. I'd be all over that. Just watch the media scrabbling for excuses. Who could they blame? What would they blame? Mr. Wasp from Saudi Arabia has offered you a million quid. Guess we're resigning. Hello, is that Bolton? Portugal, Uruguay, Korea. That sounds spicy. That does sound spicy. Let's get stuck in off. Actually, that hasn't really worked for us, has it? To be honest. Sheffield Wednesday. Now we need to give these guys a spanking just for Mr. Owens. America are in a bit of a mess. They're all over the place, aren't they? They really are. They need to sort their shit out. What's the shirts behind me? So, this is the FC United Against Suicide shirt. So we talk quite a lot about mental health on the stream here. This is a Scottish charity. It's United Against Suicide to raise awareness for suicide rates in Scotland, particularly amongst men. So the shirts came on sale, and we were like, right, let's buy one of those, stick it on the stream, and hang it up behind us all year. So, thought we'd score there. The one in the middle here is Peterborough. This is from our FM21 stream last year. First stream we did. We started at Sunderland. We got sacked after about 6 months. We ended up at Peterborough, and it was so much fun. So much fun. This literally got me into streaming off the back of it. So we loved it. So we thought, you know what, at the end of the save, let's buy a Peterborough shirt to commemorate the save. And then the other one behind me here, this one here, is a shirt from Oddball Club in Norway. They are very proudly a football club that we work with. We are their official esports football manager. They didn't have one before we turned up, and we actually did an official job interview for them on which we've got on YouTube there, so feel free to have a look for it. And yeah, they were great. They were super cool. They've sent me like shirts and hoodies and stickers, coffee cups. Adam Ida makes it 1-0. So yeah, we haven't bought a shirt from this season's save because there's been too many clubs to get round, to be honest. We could go back to Indonesia. I could have done with an Indonesian kit, couldn't we? Even Rich, how are you, buddy? Nice to see you. McGraw, Brit, Twitter, don't worry. I mean, we are currently, what's that? 13 points away from the playoffs. It's a little bit, it's not impossible. The fact that there's a 27 goal swing is interesting. Very interesting indeed. Got ball up over the top. Now we've got a bit of issue here, haven't we? Big issue. That's a really interesting discussion topic. Apocalypse. A really interesting discussion topic. The Spanish women's team. So, for those people who maybe don't know, and correct me if I've understood this story wrong, the Spanish women are at odds with their coach, and they're refusing to play until he gets sacked or removed. So, what the Spanish FA have agreed to do, or are currently suggesting, is they'll just not pick those players, which is really shitty. Like, really shitty to back the manager in this situation. They can lose all of their players. Spain have got a great team as well. Currently got one of the Ballon d'Or winner, I believe. Yeah, there you go, Cass. I didn't want to get into the actual specifics because I didn't know the specifics. But yes, he's an abusive piece of shit, apparently, is the official description. They want him gone, and the Spanish FA are backing him instead. And they've said that they're going to ban the Spanish players. I was reading this from Apocalypse. They said they're going to ban the Spanish players and then play youth players, but ban the players for 5 years. I mean, the current Ballon d'Or winner plays in that Spanish national team. Like, that's not right. That's not right. Bolton have gone with 3 at the back. The winner and the runner-up, yeah. Well, yeah, it's literally come out in the last couple of days. Yeah, Putella, yeah. He obviously is out of action with a knee ligament injury, so unless they apologise, yeah. It's just insane, isn't it? Just absolutely insane. And again, like, the fact that they're just going to back the manager 15 players can't be wrong. 15 players can't be wrong. Do you know what I mean? Like, one player? Fine. One player's the thing. You could say that that's... like, you could say that's just an issue. It's a personal thing, maybe. You could argue that and go, oh, well, you know, it's 6 of one, half a dozen the other. We don't know. 15. 15. Fucking hell. 15. All of them saying that their coach is a piece of shit. And the Spanish FA just going, no, surely not. It's MJ Williams all over again. Yeah, it's... Yeah, but worse. But worse. It is literally that. It is literally that, you're right. Yes, that's right. Yeah. FM22 is free on Prime at the minute. FM23, of course, is currently pre-orders. Feel free to hit that link right there. That's a link that I've got, which, and quite a lot of the FM community appear to have right now as well. If you put fan 5 at the end of the link, get the game for £32.05, which is much cheaper than they're doing it on Steam. It's like 45 quid on Steam at the minute. And then we get a little bit of support for the channel as well, so there's an affiliate link. So as I say, I will say that now, that I do get a kickback if you use that link, so please do. It helps support the channel. What would people like to see in FM23? Great question, Rich. Great question. Oh, if you've got Prime sub, drop it on Tony as well. Cass is doing the Lord's work here. You're right. If you've got Amazon Prime, it costs you absolutely zip. Nothing. It's all included in the price. So stick it on here, and you can attribute that to any creator you like. So you can have it for me for 1 month, move on, give it to someone else if you want to do that. I'm sure they'd appreciate it as well. The link does get you the beta as well, Inky. Yeah, the beta comes through. It is only for the full fat version as well, so it is the PC and Mac version. It's not for PS5, it's not for Xbox, it's not for mobile or tablet or whatever that. So yeah, but you do get the beta access as well, guaranteed on beta access day. So there's literally a no quibble, no worry. It is a Sega affiliate link as well, so it is approved by Sega. So it's not just a shonky link that we found somewhere on the internet. It is with Fanatical, so you can Google them, you can check them out. They are legit. So yeah, we were very happy to be linked with them, and then we realized that everyone else was doing it as well. We're just like, oh, don't feel as special now, but I still do feel special at the same time. Night Bolt, be lovely to have you in as always. Of course, we will see you very soon, I'm guessing. I hope, anyway. Hope. Don't need to be guessing if we'll see people. I would absolutely love to. I'd love to see stadiums are a bit more realistic. Low-level clubs have a rope around the pitch rather than 10k stadium. Pitches at lower level. South African pitches. Oh, that would be good. That would be good. The graphical interface for match day does need an overhaul. It does need an overhaul. And they know. They absolutely know, don't they? Like, but they do keep, as Cass is saying there, they do want people to run it on a potato, and it just makes it difficult, because there's got to be a point when you go, you know what, enough's enough. Invest. Yeah, Sportsman, work the space. We're on the podcast this week. Really good interview. Really good interview. If you've not had a chance to listen to it yet, I think the link for FMT has just gone past, but pop it in there again. Do check it out, and of course we've also got the YouTube channel as well. Jack was super accommodating with his time. Really enjoyed speaking to him. Only me and him, unfortunately. Rich is obviously was busy moving house, so unfortunately he wasn't there. But which is a shame, because I think them two would really get on. So hopefully they can meet up next time and do it. But yeah, it was good. Thoroughly enjoyed it. He's just, yeah, I like Jack a lot. He's a really great guy. So it was fun to have the conversation, and I think we got quite a bit out of it, and I think he certainly I think it was really interesting listening to what he was saying with regards to F1 manager and where he sees himself going forward, to be honest. Cast listen to some of the older ones I've missed. I had some great guests on. I appreciate that. Thank you. It's been, I do think that we've done pretty well, and we've got a nice mix, I think, as well, which is always the interesting thing, isn't it? You don't want to just literally have the same guest that everyone else gets on. You kind of want to mix it up a wee bit. So, but yeah, no, I think we're happy with it. So transfer window is open. Few little sort of bits and pieces I think we'll need to do. So I think we need a centre half. I think we need a centre forward. His Twitch stream seems like he's the Zealand of the F1 world. He pretty much is, to be honest. Yeah, he's pretty much the go-to guy now. So we talk about that, and we sort of like try and work out what his plan is going forward. Because again, he's come into the FM world, and you know he is the go-to guy in FM. But then he went to F1 and inadvertently made himself the guy in the F1 world. So who knows what he's going to do now? Second yellow card episode was funny. Second yellow card episode was so funny, so funny. I'm with you, Razio. I think that's probably my favourite, actually, to be honest. Rich, I had an FM joy tonight at my long-term Dortmund Day at the age of 30. Erling Haaland is coming home. I love that. That's brilliant. Cass was a fan of the Dupe episode. Nice. See, this is what I like. I like the fact that people have different guests that will be their favourite. So 73 grand a week for Alfie Devine. 82 grand. I mean, madness. He will be a great signing, but not at that price. No chance. Glenn Kamara, we're not going for either. Giancarlo Di Matteo. He looks decent, doesn't he? Out of contract at the end of the season as well. Oof. 22-year-old Italian. Yes, please. Favourite episode was Dupe as well. It's a sportsman belly laughing loud on the plane and people looking at me with the headphones on. Yeah, that's what I like about the second yellow card episode, is that, like, Matt is just super funny. He is naturally really, really funny, and I think to just get him just in the zone was brilliant. Like, he's so good, so good. Not been a bad episode, to be fair. I appreciate that, Cass. Thank you. It's difficult for us, like we said before about the having that level of being able to sort of like self-reflection and look at your own work and be like, is this good enough? Like, what can we improve? Like, we've had to go through that cycle quite a lot, to be honest. And I think that we are coming into a good spot at the minute. I think we're on form with regards to making content. So yeah, we're enjoying it, and we're glad that it's coming across that it's the product that we want to make, and that you guys are still on board with it, to be honest. And as I say, we absolutely appreciate the support all the time. I could say I love X guest episode for everyone. Yeah. Acquired skill podcast. My son just started digital journalism at college. Had to do a podcast for the first time, but he's loving it. Yeah, it's just, it can be tricky. It's a learned skill. Like everything, it's a learned skill. But I think if you want to do it, there's plenty of really good examples available now of things to look at, and whereas before, maybe not so many. So I think it's definitely getting there. Yes, B-Burn, how are you, buddy? Welcome, lovely to see you back in. England relegated to League B of the National League. Still the other game to play. Northern Pilgrim rocking in with the good news. appreciating that. Shoutouts might not be working, by the way, so it's maybe not a thing. We are at Norwich. Yeah, we agreed to move. The squad was a little bit better than what we had, so we decided that we'd maybe do that move. We're just having a quick look at some possible options, because we could do with a central defender and another striker, possibly. He's not bad. He's not bad. Who's he wanted by? He's wanted by Bayern Munich. He's okay. He'll be fine. Oh, okay. So he could come in alone. That'd be interesting enough. And then what was the midfielder we looked at? There was a midfield as well we saw. It was from Leipzig. Yeah, Sydney Rabiger. Again, could be someone interesting. 5'9". $16,000 on wages. Have we got that sort of money? Don't think we have, but we could maybe juggle some cash around. Better than Alfie Devine, but Alfie Devine is probably the type of player we want, really. Let's go and find out how much Johnny Kenny's going to cost. £7 million. That's interesting. Obviously, Reece Morgan's still available as well. So he's someone we can maybe look at. Could always go back to Bolton and try and sneak them off. Adam Campbell, though, we like the look of Adam Campbell as a nice little sort of cheeky option. I hope he's going to do that thing that the other lad who went from Ireland did when he went to Tottenham and became a very good player very quickly. I don't really want to loan him straight back, because I'd like to put him straight back in the team. Right, let's have it so you're going to come straight over. So we're currently rated C in the transfer market because we haven't actually signed anybody yet. So, Ian and Shelley, how are you? Welcome in. Hope you're well. Imagine England in a group with Georgia, Armenia, and Albania. They'd probably struggle to score there as well. Probably, yeah. All good, absolutely all good. Genuinely can't complain. We're having a lovely time. Kevin Madden wants to go to Forest Green. That's fine. So, questions about coming back up against Bolton? It's fine. I'm happy to come back up against Bolton. We're going to the Nat Loft House Arena. I mean, Stephen Bricks is currently at Hamilton, right? Reasonable attributes, I think you would agree. 6'6", 22-year-old Austrian, jumping reach of 16, finishing of 11, heading of 13. Really good determination. He's currently thinking he has better options. Norwich has Hearts and some club that doesn't even exist. So I don't understand where he's going to go if he thinks that, Aberdeen's a real club. Aber who? Aber what? Mate, you've made this one up. It's not even a real place. What are you playing at? Tell you what, you can have 11 grand. 11 grand. He doesn't want it. Oh, he's straight out. Oh well. Yeah. think we fucked that one. I think he's gonna go elsewhere. Whoops. Let's keep you in for now, because we might have a little look at you. But yeah, I thought he would have been going from £1,000 to 11 grand. Let's go out on loan. That's fine. Go out on loan. So yeah, we may have buggered that one up slightly. Okay, so Leo Duarte came out on loan. That's fine. Adam Campbell's coming in though. Let's see what he can do. Let's see what he can do. No, I need to update that a little bit, James, to be honest. So, excuse me, let me fill you in quickly. So, we started it with Brackley. We started with Brackley. We were there for 4 years. We finished 3 points outside of the playoffs 2 seasons in a row. Then we finished many points outside the playoffs. Then we got to the playoff semi-finals. Then we got the York City job, and we won the playoff final in the National League North. Then we got the playoff final in the National League, won that as well. And then we got offered the job at Bolton because we were there for a little bit in League Two, and we looked pretty solid. Got the job at Bolton. We were there for a year, and then recently the Bolton players started talking about our backs and we're being dicks. So we left and have joined Norwich. So here we are. We're now about to play Bolton again. So yeah, that's the whistle stop tour, but we've caught you up there. Also, what's interesting as well at the minute is we've lost our main striker. So Chi Han has just been sold. It was a deal that was agreed before we'd taken over, sadly. So we are going to lose him. So we do have to buy a new striker in January. So it's going to be interesting to see what we can do. Paul 1 for 1. Yeah, exactly. He was looking good as well, wasn't he? He was looking good. Oh, look at that. Raggio's straight in. Like, look, we goated him. We gave him the keys to the castle, and he's just instantly went there and fixed it. And to be fair, Cass pretty much summed up as well. 4 seasons of Brackley, some seasons of York. Joined Bolton. They're a mess now at Norwich. It's Baptiste, Stanton, Baptiste, Adam Hyder. I think the element of surprise has sort of taken a few, as wearing off a little bit. So yeah, we're not quite as smash mouthing in your face. Although you would argue 6 shots, 3 on target. Bolton have had nothing yet. Bolton clearly playing for a draw right now. We say off the line. Oof. Trash talk the Bolton players, yeah. Yeah, your new ground's smaller than your old ground. What's that all about? Okay, come on, let's do a bit more. We need to make a couple of changes though, because players are starting to tire as well. So let's also go positive. Try and push on a bit in this second half. Oh, this is where a goal comes in. Oh no, nicely intercepted. Jed Spence now. Back inside to Baptiste. Adam Hyder, kind of in the wrong position. Bar from distance. Don't really want Adam Hyder that deep doing. Rashika probably needs to come off though, because he's starting to tire a bit. His Borges could do with pushing on a bit. Let's move Stanton up. See if that helps. A bit more trying to sort of put a bit of pressure on them a little bit more. Let's do that for now. Might have some more options later on. The big cheese. Out to bin. Puts it back in. Big cheese heads straight at the keeper. Bolton's starting to get back into it a little bit now, as we've started being a bit more positive. Maybe finding a bit of space. Great ball. Adam Ida. Heads over the top. Right, let's make another change. Jed Spence is looking a bit tired. Let's possibly change him for Ethan Laird. Let's put Dalton on for Bar. Throw in now. Deep in the Bolton half. Stanton puts it to the back post. Adam Ida gets the goal again. That's what we were hoping for. Yeah, we can happily laugh at England again. Apocalypse, don't worry about it. We can happily do that. I think, and again, but this is what goes around. This goes back to the whole notion of, fans not being aware of other nations and just how good they actually are. Because Hungary are a decent side, and everyone would just be like, "Oh, Hungary are a bit rubbish." As you say, they're forgetting that they turned over England. They've beaten Germany tonight. They're a decent side. Oh, Mungo. I mean, thing is, Cass, if it wasn't for the fact that Hungary were a bunch of massive homophobes, yes, it would be great, but, and historically, though, they've done a lot for football, but, yeah, if it wasn't for their recent bouts of homophobia, I'd be all over it. Yeah, we should have won that. We should have won that. We stay a point ahead of Bolton. Can't believe. I mean, set play on it. It's a set play that's undone us, to be honest. Which is fine. Saying that, it's been a while since we've not won. 5 games now since we've not won. Because we had 8 wins on the bounce. That's quite worrying. Okay, West Ham away in the FA Cup now. I mean, to be honest, Rich, they're all the things that Britain has as problems. So I guess that's obviously why they're not in the EU as well. Yeah, all absolute issues. Take all of this. Let's clean all this up, shall we? Be a bit more disciplined against West Ham, I think, possibly. Regroup. Ball out to the fullbacks. Roll it out as well. Right, Rashika's going to have to come out because he needs a rest. For Borges, Stanton's going to need a rest. We're playing for Roba. To be honest, quite a lot of the players need a rest, really. Danny Shithole needs a rest and he needs to actually come into the side. We don't have a recognised centre-half otherwise. Ooh. Van Bronckhorst's new Wolves manager in your save. That's interesting. That is interesting. Steve Kiley. No, he's not going anywhere. He's going to stay for now. He's had enough of winning the Scottish Premier League every year, has he? Dan Christensen's off to Juve or Milan. He must be decent, mustn't he? Nations League's a friendly organised in a way to appeal to TV. It just doesn't matter. Yeah, 100%. Yeah, it's just friendly. It's just friendlies. You know, and that's all it is. It's designed for a way to make people actually care about international football, and it's not possible. It's not possible. Tipple's got a £4 million release clause, has he? Do we go in for him before Arsenal get involved? English lad at Applewell, yeah. Like, it would only be better if he was an English lad in Malaga. You know, I don't quite think it's Eric Dyer at this level. Steve Hughes will go Chester, that's fine. Christensen can't come, fine, no worries. Hey, evening, Pilcherell, how are you? It has been a long, long time indeed. Hope you're well, brother. Welcome back. Hungarian side of the 1950s reinvented football. They did. But again, as you say, recent politics is an issue, isn't it? That's where we need to sit and go like, oh, we don't really agree with that. We don't really agree. It's a major reservation about negotiating terms. I mean, let's just try the terms, shall we? You know? Well, what are you thinking? It's like 13 grand maybe or something. 22? We can give you 21. £27 million release clause. If we could do it, if we can get him in before Arsenal want them, that'll be good. Joelinton's off. Joelinton goes to Yeonbuk in Korea on a free transfer. I think we have to be a little bit cautious here. Just try and keep things tight. Flashbacks of managing in Korea. Yeah. I can't say I've managed to get there recently, Cass. It's been many, many years since I did that, so but it's the sort of thing that would be right up my street, as you know. Do love an Asian save. Right, Adam Campbell's going to be in the mix. Sounds like a Radio 1 DJ there, doesn't it? Adam Campbell in the mix. Yeah, we need someone else who can play up front because there isn't any options. George Bradley. Do I play George Bradley up front in place of Joelinton? Probably not at this stage. I've signed so many players in Sweden. I have no idea what the real registrations are. I should probably check. There's you need to play, is it 9, I think? 9 homegrown players, I think. Something like that, anyway. haven't got a single word written in my book for a month. Oh, come on, Apocalypse. If FM announced the J League, all it told is FM 23 plans currently change immediately. Well, yeah. If there was ever a sponsorship deal that could happen, 100% agreed. Good ball over the top. Bar's going to chase on it. There's nobody there though, sadly. So, money spinning FA Cup tie this one. Oh. 1-0. 1-0. Nine minutes in, I think maybe we get the guys to run around. FA Cup's not something we need to consider ourselves with, really. You know. It's not a thing, really, is it? Like, we don't need to worry about that. Oh, it's a terrible clearance. It's a goal. He's giving a goal away. Right, now the panic can start setting in, because, you know, we're just gonna start giving goals away now. The honeymoon period is definitely over, isn't it? Park the bus. Yeah, we need to buy a bus. There you go. Let's go part of the bus then. Let's see what we can do. It's not the performance we were hoping for, to be honest. One shot. Adam Ida's getting up there. There's nobody else there, is there? Williams has put the cross in. Ooh. That was close. Let's put Adam Campbell on as well. Actually, let's see how he gets on as a newbie. And Jed Spence is having a terrible game, apparently. So there you go. We're just going to close the game out and just lose it 2-0, hopefully. That seems to be our plan tonight, which it's not a great plan, but it's the plan we've gone with. Yeah, we all have plans. Oh, offside. It's fine, don't worry. Is it offside? Disallowed. There we go. I mean, to be fair, we've managed to hold them out since those two goals in the 20th minute, first 20 minutes. So we did what we're supposed to do, but it's still been disappointing. As long as we can go to the next league game and actually get a result, that's more important. Plus, we can look at this and get as generating a bit of cash, because that's clearly what's more important. And what's that done for our finances actually? Has it got anything in from gate receipts? 1.4 million this month. Income. I mean, compared to last month, we made £329,000. This month we made 1.4 million. So I'm guessing if we've made £1 million there off that game, then that's fine. You know what I mean? Director of football has put a bit in for Tobias Lawrence, and sadly not the one you're thinking of. Failed to expect us to get into the fourth round. Rumours that one of the club's directors could replace Bailey Boyle as the chairman. So that's where we're at the minute. It's a potential internal takeover. Yeah, board takeover here. So hopefully, local businessman is going to be doing the bidding rather than evil empire of sports washing bastards. Dorset are an affiliate club we've got there, so okay. Is there anybody? I mean, maybe I'm guessing that I don't really think that Dorset are going to have a whole bunch of players that we can bring in, although maybe Moha maybe. Keep our eyes on him. Liam Bosson. I didn't even consider the fact we might have affiliate clubs. Tampa Bay. They got international partnership for loanee players. Tampa Bay Rowdies. Harry Brockbank, Jordan Tompkinson, Lawrence Vick, Tyler Golden. I mean, none of these players are going to be good enough right now, but Vietnamese player Jack Bounby, Pereira. This kid might be okay. Maybe. Possibly. Come have a trial. Come have a trial and see what we can say. Bring Graham Garvey with you as well. Worth a look at it, I suppose, to be honest. Lovely streams with more experienced humans. My word, there's some knowledge on here. Mad scientist stream. Mad scientist streams are amazing, aren't they? That's a man who's got a brain that works overtime. I'm intrigued by the book though, Apocalypse. Very, very intrigued indeed. You'll have to keep us up to date with it. Stanton's been called back. Oh, that's harsh. That's really harsh. That's really harsh, actually. They gave us one conversation to say why you're not playing him. And we were playing him, but we weren't playing him there. Still a winger on attack. Fucking Liverpool. Of course it would be Liverpool. To try and can't take Hyam in. That would be a nice bit of narrative, actually. So yes, we're now going to have to start looking for a wide player now. Great. Ideally someone young and exciting. Hyam would have been that guy. And Asazela. Very aggressive. Good dribbling, good crossing. Vision's not brilliant. He's wanted by Luton for an actual permanent transfer, so he won't come to us on loan then. Coley, Chris Hutton. 6'4", big jumping ability again. Todd Cantwell wouldn't be the worst shout. I mean, he's going to be expensive, but would he come on loan? 27 grand. And we'd have to pay for him as well. Oh yes, yeah, Summer Says is brilliant. She's actually a fantastic streamer. Yeah, we're a big fan of hers. Brighter Forey. He's quite highly rated. Yeah, we had her on the podcast, and it was one of the best. It was one of the best receptions we'd had for a guest. Like, the story that she told was just incredible. She didn't hide anything. It was all just like, this is where we're at. This is what's happening. And yeah, I think we were blown away by the response to that. So she's she's one of the good ones. We absolutely champion her. Scott Twine, we could go in for Scott Twine, couldn't we? Dapo's available. Isaac Success. Or do we take the wingers out of it? Do we maybe cut wingers out and just go, right, look, let's go more narrow? If things are starting to slow down with regards to goals and stuff. Oh, actually, what's that lad from Charlton? Jensen, wasn't it? Player from Clyde might be getting a Sri Lanka cap. What in cricket or in actual football? Because that's outstanding. Oh, they're not going to let him go. Ooh. Can we sign him? So for an engage, also for a chat about anything. Yeah, she's brilliant. She's superb. Love the small streamers. So much more engagement. Got me through the worst COVID lockdowns of shielding and stuff. Found Twitch. Same, to be honest. Rich, same. I think we all are in a very similar position. We all found Twitch around at the same time and in the same circumstances, to be honest. I think, had the pandemic not happened, I think maybe some Twitch things may not have happened. So it's weird how the world works, right? Nathan Redmond, we can go in for Nathan Redmond. No one's bothered about Nathan Redmond, are we? Sam Redmond, however. I suppose we could technically move Jed Spence out, put him on the. Let's go in for him. I know there's already a deal done, but well, this is a deal in process, I should say. Sorry. Jason Knight. £5 million. We can't afford that. Let's just move on for a smidge. See if there's see what else we can look at. So we've only got 2 weeks left of the transfer window, I think. 10 grand's fine, we can do that. Right, What's wrong with it now then? Yep. Right, we have to sell you then because you've not got a transfer. You're not going to get a work permit. Excellent. So there's another left winger that's now going to have to go. Fine. Oh, there you go. Yeah, it's because they weren't accepted a permanent offer. That's fine. Although, how much is the permanent offer for? 2 million quid? Is he worth 2 million quid? Are we just... Are we panicking at this point? Dribbling and crossing are pretty good. Does very well in non-competitive matches. Is he going to create? Maybe. Not sure. See, even the fans aren't sure either. They're not sure. I'm going to say no. Yeah, I'm going to say no to him. Bright Fiore, though. He can come in, that's fine. So Duarte is going to go out to Cruz Azul, which is fine. I think we're going to notice that quite a lot of our players are going to leave, and then we're going to be left with like what was a big squad is then going to go to like a really small squad. Then we're going to be like, oh shit, what's happened now? So Kramer might be coming as well. He's the young German defender who could potentially be on his way to Bayern Munich. I mean, look at that. Dan Christensen looks very good. We've missed out on Stefan Bricks, which I'm really pissed off about. I can't believe we buggered that up. Can't believe we did that. Shit, innit? You can literally get one shot at the transfer and that's it. But here's our offer. Well, actually, I want this. All right, okay. Well, can we negotiate? No. All right. Oh, right. Fine then. Bye. By the way, I've already agreed to move somewhere else. Oh, great. All right, Steve Kiley, you're not going anywhere. I think you're going to play a part. Paulo Guerrero. I don't know. Was I sucked in by this? Is he better than the left backs we've got? I don't think he is he really? Who have we currently got on left back? Is he better than Ethan Laird? No, Ethan Laird's better than him. Is he better than... Who else is playing left back at the minute? He's better than Joaquin? Not really. I think we delay for now, but I don't think he's going to be someone we're going to be looking at. Sidney Rabiga has got his loan through, so he can come in, join the midfield. Okay, we're happy. We're happy with Sidney. Right, forward players is what we need now. We need a striker. Steven Sessegnon. He could play left back, couldn't he? Okay, that's interesting. Now, centre forward though, that's what we need. What are the centre forwards saying? Is it Evan Ferguson? He's quick. He can finish. He can jump. He's worth 7 million quid. $30,000. Oof. Might just have to pay it. Reece Amos doesn't really have much going for him. Elias Booth. Pitchford. Is there anybody who's out of contract? Devontae Cole. Allergic. Sam. Benica Forby. We could sign 35-year-old Benica Forby. Callum Robinson. Nathan Broadhead. TQ Addy. I mean, that's not his name, is it? That's not a real name, surely. Kamari Simon Swire. Addy Aziz. Tara Marsh. Michelangeli. What's the budget? We've got £2 million. Pilgrims. So we have some money, but I think it's the Caleb Chukwuemeka. I think it's more along the lines of trying to work out the best fit more than anything. I mean, Reece Morgan. We could go back for Reece Morgan. Johnny Kenny's not on the transfer list, but we'd love to get him. We'd love to get him. Adam Needs. He's a Ram Deuter. He looks pretty good, doesn't he? I'm intrigued. We had success with a Welsh Engange. Let's now go for a Welsh Ram Deuter. Why not, right? Keith Barry, look at that. Finishing 12 to 17. Acceleration 15 to 20. Heading 12 to 17. Off the ball 11 to 17. No money from Crusaders. Is nobody else interested in him at all? He hasn't scored many goals, so that's a bit of a worry. It is a worry, but Sonny Finch at Borough. Mavidi. Okay, let's see what that happens then. We can see where we go from there. Zach Hemming's gone to Sunderland. And Ayas Azali has gone to Union. Ironically, after they said that they wouldn't accept a loan bid for him. Can't help but feel as though they were taking the piss a little bit there. Okay, let's see what Keith Barry says. If Keith Barry comes back and he's like showing all the signs, then we bring Keith Barry in, right? Crammers. Work permits turned down. Okay. So we can't get him. Briannis has gone to West Ham. We looked at him. Right, back into the into the mix then. Where's Peel? 15 for finishing. Acceleration, stamina. Interesting. John Suter, if he wasn't for 33 grand, wouldn't be the worst shout in the world for a centre half. Right, Reece Williams isn't available for loan. Oh, there was a lad though who was at Palace. I'm sure there was. We could get on loan. There he is, Mahmood. He's not quite there, really, is he? Valderrama's not where. Tipple, we've approached. We've approached Tipple. We have a centre half possibly on the incoming. So maybe. How's Raspadori developed? Raspadori. It's currently valued at up to £92 million, so I think he's okay at this point. 108 goals in 300 games. It's pretty handy, I think. Pretty handy. 145 grand a week as well. Luca as well is probably going to be way out of our budget. He's at Roma. Only 36 mil though, so he's not out of our reach pod massively, but right, Evan Ferguson's not going to come. Can't afford his wages. That's fine. Need to up our offer for Adam Needs. Steve Hughes is going to go to Chester. Okay, that's fine. £36 million is an absolute bargain. Absolute bargain. We do need to. Sadly, we need to sell 2 stands to get him in. We could do with local businessman turning up with a few extra quid. Okay, so let's see where we are then in terms of selection, because there's going to be players. My voice is properly croaky, innit? Right, Rashika on the bench. So Rashika can play because he needs to come in and get some decent crosses in. He's joining Espanyol in July. Robber can come out for Borges, which is fine. Ida and Joel Linton up top. Campbell can go up top. For now, maybe. Siebger can come in as an extra bit of midfield, possibly in place of... He can go there, maybe. There's more of a Mazzala, but let's put him in there. It might look handy. Paddy McNair for Mason Holgate as well. Holgate on the bench. If I actually, let's bring him on as a sub. Actually, that looks reasonable. He's a pressing forward. Actually, he can run the channels, can't he? Let's try that. That might work. Might work, might not. Who knows? Who knows? Give it a go. That's all we can do, right? I almost feel that we need to go back to that sort of standard 4-4-2 where we had the all the wonderful crosses coming in. Go back to that again. Go back to wing play. Oh, pick that out. Why are we not getting anywhere near those players then? We need to berate early doors, I think. It's terrible. Ball's given away. And look, no one's picking him up. No one's picking him up. He's ran through the middle of 3 players. And here's number 2. should have been. It probably should have been number 2, actually. Right, done some berating. Let's give him a bit of encouragement. Bolton are overtaking us again in the lead now. Can't be having that. Can't be having that. Just chasing shadows. Oof. Oh. Offside, is it? I don't think it is. I think it's... No, it doesn't count. It doesn't count, thankfully. But we need to do better. Good cross in. Sit all heads over the top. Right, come on, we need to do better. Let's go back actually to that wing play, because that sort of seems to work better for us, doesn't it? Spencer's on a yellow card. Deserves his yellow card, so let's get him off then. Because otherwise we're going to end up with issues in the second half when we end up with 10 men, inevitably. Borges maybe needs to come off. Plueg out to Aud. Give the ball away. This is the issue, we're just pumping balls into what should be decent areas, but there's no one there. And sadly, that means we're missing out on the second ball, and then we're not ready for when the ball comes back over. Given that we gave the ball away twice in that moment, in that build-up play. Just not good enough. Just not good enough, I'm afraid. Yeah. Things need to start turning around. Good ball. No one's not going to get there. He's not going to get there. So yeah, so we've gone from, as normal, we've gone from flying to struggling again. It just seems to be the way, doesn't it? Classic. Classic. Decent block. Let's see if we can do something before the end of the match. 2-0 down. Gone flying. Lane's gone flying in there. Rashika inside to Ida. Laird. Rashika gets it back. Goes there to the box. Pulls it back. Ida with the header. That'll do. That'll do. Okay, that's one back. Let's get us a second. Gets the byline, cuts it in. Ida, and there's also someone else challenging there as well, which is great. Rashika back to the goalkeeper. Rashika is led. Always played it inside nicely. There's Campbell. Campbell saw his name light up there. Thought he was going to get his first goal for the club. There's Sithole. Ida. Sithole loses it. Going to concede here, aren't we? We're going to concede off the back of this. Heads up, boys. Heads up. Nicely intercepted. Right. Time to turn the press up a bit, I think. Start pushing on. Can we get anything more? Let's go attacking as well. Anything we can do. Anything we can do. We'll move Ryberger into a Mazzala now. Might have to go 4-2-4 actually. 4-2-4 could be the way forward. Have we got enough time for another highlight? One more highlight, please. For us, not for them. Oh, I didn't say for who. Oh, here's Ida, though. He's kept it in. Jolinton. Ida. Intercepted. Intercepted. Yeah, good night, Apocalypse. We're not going to be too far behind you, to be honest. I think we're going to finish this match and then we'll be away as well. We'll let him take much more of this frustration, to be honest. Good ball up over the top. No. Laird inside. Rashika. Big Joe Linton at the back post. Hopefully has given us a point. Hopefully. This is what happens. We can grind a result out. That's what we want from these players. That mentality of just being able to go and give it some. There we go. We've won. Well, we've won. We think we've won. We've come from 2-0 down. We've managed to get ourselves a point, which is perfect. To be honest, let's now try and work out how we go and get a raid on, because I don't know whether or not the is it going to let me do it here? I don't know. It might actually let me do it on here now. So let's see. Right. Appreciated that. That was great fun. Great fun tonight. It's been top draw. Let's see who's around to chill out with. I think Build a Nation Poland sounds fun. Build a Nation Poland sounds fun. Let's go there. Right. Let's see if I can. Champions League group stage. Champions League group stage is feeling pretty good. Or yeah, Champions League group stage. Let's do that. Right. I will grab the raid. Right. Go give the man some love. It's been fun as always. See you. Well, we won't see you on tomorrow. We'll see you Sunday for TJFM versus the community for drafting. So let's get that on. We'll see you Sunday. This has been fun. Take care. Enjoy your Saturday. We'll see you soon. All the best. Bye now.